After a decade away, they're back. It's time for Zombieland Double Tap, and we are so excited in advance of the film's premiere later this week to have Jesse Eisbenberg, Columbus, from the film, and of course Ruben Fleischer, the director of both movies. Thank you guys both so much for coming in.
Thanks for having us, Dave.
After a kind of a sneak preview premiere last night here in town, and there's kind of a history with, I guess, the franchise now, the two films, of doing that here in Austin.
Yeah, we premiered the film for the very first time in 2009 at Fantastic Fest, and it was an incredible screening, and so we're so happy to be able to come back and show the movie last night to audiences here.
Yeah, so many people love Zombieland, and I was reading a little bit about it this morning, that from the time the first film was made 10 years ago, there was talk of this second film, and yet here we are. Took about a decade to get that done. Were you, to put this to both of you, were you both excited about revisiting these characters and doing a second film?
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to do it, like, after the first movie came out and was so beloved by people, we felt like it would make sense to do a sequel, but it took 10 years to, like, get the script right. Like, actually, we wanted to make sure it was great. We didn't want to just do one because it was popular. We wanted to make sure it was great. And so the writers of this movie, they, in between the first and second Zombieland, they wrote Deadpool 1 and 2, so we had to wait for a little bit for them. And then when they were freed, we finally got a great script.
Yeah, you're talking about a whole bunch of high-profile actors, writers, and everyone who has to carve out some time to do this. In addition to the first film kind of being a thing that could have stood alone on its own, but so if you, like you said, if you wanted to do it again, you wanted to do it the right way.
Yeah, and it was also to our advantage to have that 10-year time passage, because it allowed for the movie to feel a little bit differently. Like, we tried to show what the world looks like after people haven't been there for 10 years. So, for example, we find them at the White House at the beginning of the movie, and it's covered in vines, and it's completely overgrown because nature has kind of worked its way back, with no one there left to trim the greens.
Yeah, and you're introducing a whole bunch of new characters as well.
Yeah, Zoe Deutsch, who plays Madison, who's the one in the pink jacket there, she was a real discovery. She kind of steals every scene she's in, with no disrespect. Like, she's just really.
You just walk right out right there. Just, yeah.
She's very funny.
It seems like just a whole, I mean, the first movie as well, just a whole big bunch of scene stealers, though. It's such a great ride-along kind of comedy, the way it's going on throughout the whole film.
Yeah, it's the movie is, like, probably funnier than the first movie, right?
I think this one's funnier. I mean, the cast is so amazing. It was great to get Woody, Jesse, Emma, and Abby back. But then we have Luke Wilson, who's, I guess, a local boy. We have Thomas Middleditch, Zoe Deutsch, who I mentioned, Avon Jogia, and they're all just really elevating.
Rosario Dawson.
Rosario Dawson is fantastic as well. Yeah, it's a great cast.
What does it feel like to you, Jesse, to be involved back in a project like this and with these actors who you're close with on the first film, a decade removed, with so many projects and different things you've done in between?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, I would say we had two competing feelings. One is like, this is so much fun to do, and we feel so happy to be here. And the other one was like really cautious, like, we have to make sure this is great, because it's not just like a popular movie, it's a movie that people really love. So we did have this feeling on set, like, we have to make sure this lives up to the first one, not just have fun doing it.
Yeah, that's so cool. It seems like from the early reviews and clips, mission accomplished on that. And of course, the whole zombie thing has become such a thing. It seems like even more so in the last decade than it was back in 2009.
Yeah, I mean, The Walking Dead has gone on to such success all over the world. Brad Pitt starred in a zombie movie. Like, it's kind of become more mainstream than I think it was when we made the first one.
Very cool. Well, once again, we appreciate you coming to Austin for the premiere and also taking a little time to chat with us. Zombieland Double Tap out everywhere late Thursday night into Friday, so you can go see that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Really appreciate it.